phone footage has just emerged, which appears to have been filmed by the immigration agent who shot a mother of three in Minneapolis on Wednesday. The video was released by Alpha News, a right-wing Minnesota news outlet. In it, Renee Good can be seen sitting in her car, blocking the road and smiling at the officer approaching her. Let's listen to what happened next.
That's fine, dude. I'm not mad at you. Show your face. I'm not mad at you. That's okay. We don't change our plates every morning, just so you know. It'll be the same plate when you come talk to us later. That's fine. U.S. citizen, former. You want to come at us? I say go get yourself some lunch, big boy. Go ahead.
Get out of the car. Get out of the car. Get out of the car.
Oh! State officials in Minnesota are deeply unhappy that the FBI has taken over the investigation into the killing, shutting them out. Our U.S. editor, Anushka Astana, is at the scene of the shooting in Minneapolis. Anushka.
Well, that video has led to more polarized debate about exactly what happened here. The Vice President, J.D. Vance, is not waiting for an investigation. He has posted it and argued that it showed the officer's life was endangered. Others say Renee Good looked totally unthreatening. Now, we have learned more about the agent at the heart of this. He was injured by a vehicle last year, which had a fleeing suspect in it, and he was very experienced, 20 years in Border Patrol and ICE. Meanwhile, we've been sent emails from immigration lawyers in the area this morning who say ICE agents are turning up at their workplaces. One woman who was 37 weeks pregnant has told colleagues that she was threatened with a chemical spray this morning. Others describe ICE agents in the corridors of immigration courts. And look, the city is bracing itself because they know that more officers are headed here now.
Mobile phone footage has just emerged, which appears to have been filmed by the immigration agent who shot a mother of three in Minneapolis on Wednesday.
Just so you know.
We already got through that. Let me go ahead and stop that right there. So initial thoughts, anything pertaining to this video or anything that you have seen prior to this?
Well, first, let me see if I can find it. I'm very much on the side that she was not an aggressor, that obviously this was 1,000% in the wrong. They should not be doing this. They don't even have jurisdiction over this. If you look in the laws for ICE, they are not like police. They do not have the right to enter people's property. They do not have the right to make people come out of their cars or to enter people's cars. They also, in their guidelines, tell them not to use their bodies to block vehicles. That's also, I believe, in police training as well. So everything that they were doing was already wrong, already beyond what their jurisdiction was. And the other half of it too, that really stands out to me, is how the White House responded to this. Our president posted on Truth Social or Twitter, whatever he uses, saying that this individual who, if you watch the other video, not advantages, perspectives, you can see he's not touched by the car. The only contact between this man and the car is him grabbing the handle of the car as she's trying to leave in her vehicle. But the leadership in the White House has been trying to say that A, she was a paid agitator, B, she was a terrorist that had weaponized her car, that she tried to ram him, that she injured him. And in a recent post, I believe last night or 2 nights ago, he straight up said that the police officer, or that the ICE agent, was in the hospital recovering from being run over by the car, which is completely false. You see it in the video. He literally walks away, goes to his own. It's the fact that this happened is already disgusting, and an example of why we do not need these armed thugs in our cities. But the fact that it's also now a very, very blatant example of our government literally manufacturing information despite the evidence being right there in front of you. You can see it with your own eyes, but they're trying to say that this evidence that you can see with your own eyes is false. And it's, to me, very 1984, very dystopian to hear our government really try to twist an event that was filmed with very blatantly, obviously fake information. So I think there's definitely two sides to this. There's the incident itself that happened to her, and the whole situation that led to her death. But then there's also the aspect of how it's being framed by the media and by our own government system after this has happened. So there's definitely a lot to talk about.
So let me say this, right? I was on Twitter earlier and I watched seven total different clips with different angles, and it's clear as day there's two different perspectives. There's one where they are arguing that they're doctoring this video footage to make it look like the guy was standing in front of the hood of the car. But you see 4 other videos, he's clearly over on the side, and he drops his phone, he shoots in the vehicle. This should have never happened. We shouldn't even be trying to say, all right, well, there was a threat or there was a possibility of this man being harmed. From what I saw, he was not in harm's way. If you really looked at the video, she turns the steering wheel going away from his person. He tries to stop her and he aims into the car. He unholsters, aims into the car, and he fires at her. But then here's the thing that really ticked me off about it. There's a gentleman who is speaking on it, and he's saying, well, she incited this. She should have never been there in the first place. She was impeding on official business, government business, and this would have never happened if she would have stayed in her lane, did what she was asked to do. You have comments saying, well, she should have just got out the car. She should have listened to what they said, etc., etc. And now I want to know, based off of what you just told me, they don't really have the right to do some of the things that they did. Was she wrong in saying, I'm not getting out this car? I don't owe you anything. Matter of fact, I'm about to pull off, and what you gonna do about it? Now, me personally, I'm gonna say this. She should still be alive. Her response to the threat or the potential threat could have been handled differently. I would have rather her just got out the car as they asked and then handled it that way instead of, well, shit, you're in a fucking 2, 3, 4, 5 ton machine that can actually kill somebody. That's a weapon alone. Do you not think that that's going to give somebody the impression that you're going to try to hurt me? I mean, I'm playing devil's advocate. If you're somebody that's just doing their job, or you're a random person out there, you see somebody who has been argumentative with these people, and then they decide that, oh shit, I'm about to just skirt off. Your girlfriend is not even in the car with you. She encourages you to drive off. Why would you do that? I'm not saying what they did was right, but the odds of this happening lessen if you just cooperate. Do you see where I'm coming from with that? I'm not saying what happened. I'm not saying she deserved that. I'm just saying, like, this didn't have to happen at all.
Admittedly, watching the video, I've probably said it before on the show, but I have my feelings about ICE. But watching the video, one of the ones that I watched earlier featured her and her partner in the beginning of the incident, before they even started driving, and all of the infamous clips that we've seen. And admittedly, they were instigating, especially her wife. She was out of the car and yelling at the ICE agents. I believe one of the two of them were filming the ICE agents, and one of the ICE agents was filming back, and they were kind of having a back and forth between that one and the one that was filming. And so, yes, there definitely is that aspect where they were involving themselves in a situation that was not theirs to involve themselves in. There was already an ongoing ICE operation. However, I definitely still understand why they did what they did, because they stepped in to support their neighbors. They knew some of the people that were involved in this situation. And so they stepped in to help the people that they knew. This was not very far from their child's elementary school. If I remember correctly, it was also fairly close to their home. So they knew people that were involved in this situation. But their actions, I definitely could see that from a law enforcement perspective. Not that I'm really calling ICE law enforcement, because I don't really consider them that. But, you know, just for argument's sake, just from their standpoint, I could see them seeing that as aggressive behavior, especially with how hostile relationships are right now between ICE and normal citizens. I can understand why their behavior might have been seen as threatening. But it still does not rationalize the use of force that they used. She was attempting to leave. I guess I could see how they could see that as weaponizing a vehicle, which is what the Christy Nome keeps categorizing it as. But it's very, very clear in the video. There's a video I watched by CBS Evening News, which featured a retired ICE agent in that interview, and they had him review the clips. And even a former ICE agent pointed out that you can very clearly see her turning the tires away from those law officers. And part of the reason she was sitting there in the path is she was letting other cars go and pass as she was waiting there. So her sitting there wasn't necessarily her continuing to inject herself into the situation. She was just trying to find a safe way to leave. They're the ones that ended up starting to grab at her car door, step in front of her car, and she did the maneuver to get out of their way. And you can, as I said in the video, you can clearly see the tires are turned away from his feet. She did not run him over at all. She did not hit him. But as she was leaving, that is when they decided to shoot at her. It was not when she was out of the car. It was not as if she was turning the car to hit them. It was when she was very clearly trying to get away. And even police officers are taught that if a criminal is getting away, they highly discourage using force. There's a lot of other ways that you can re-detain people that get away. You can call it into other police officers. You don't have to shoot somebody. And for them to, she did not have a weapon. She did not aggress the people. Like, she didn't come at them and attack them.
People.
Yes, people.